Oh, God. But yeah, I mean, like George R. R. Martin writes his books like that. Like there are no good guys, there are no evil guys. It's mostly black and white, shades of gray, and he writes that because he's an atheist, and that's what he does. But George R. R. Martin loves J.R.R. Tolkien, and he knows he would never want to change Tolkien. If the Tolkien estate had asked George R. R. Martin, "Do you want to make a Tolkien book?" he would say no, because he would not be able to write a book that respects Tolkien's faith and his Catholic upbringing and his Christian beliefs in a way that would honor his writings. When you read his books, there is the good guys wear white hats and the bad guys wear black hats. There's some characters that are a little bit grayish, sort of, but for the most part, it's good versus evil, and there's like this childlike view on humanity in the world, and it's like if you have a great king, then your kingdom is great. If you have an evil kingdom, your kingdom is evil, it's falling apart, it's rotten. And George R. R. Martin, as much as he loved Tolkien's novels, he didn't really like that. He thought that was too simplistic. So that's why he wrote Song of Ice and Fire. He wanted to show that, yeah, sometimes evil kings do great things for citizens. Sometimes they'll pass things that will help out citizens. And then you got good, loving kings who are a little bit too timid, and they just get ran over, and the kingdom goes into an uprising because he's not making decisive decisions, and oh, what do you know, he gets murdered. Or there's a big civil war that happens because we have a guy who's a good king, but he's just too indecisive, and that's what's so great about the Fire and Blood books, is that good people who make good decisions pay horrible consequences, and sometimes bad people make decisions that benefit others, even though those same people also get their comeuppance as well.
Give an example of that.
Like Magar the Cruel, Rings of Power. Magar the Cruel was a complete psychopath. He had the biggest dragon in Balarion the Black Dread, and he was a ruthless king. He was as evil as you're going to get, but he brought law and stability back to Westeros because his brother Aenys Targaryen had no spine whatsoever. He was a good, loving guy, but he had no spine, and he married his children who were siblings. He married them together, and the Faith Militant Uprising got the strength and the courage to go to war with him because they knew how weak and timid he was. So the Faith Militant Uprising went to war against Westeros and King's Landing, and they didn't care that he had dragons. They wanted to stop.
Oh, they were in the old.
Yeah.
They've been around a while.
Yeah, they didn't care that he had dragons or whatever else. They wanted to stop incest. They were sick and tired of incest. They wanted to stop it. So Aenys Targaryen, I think his wife died. He fled King's Landing to go back to Dragonstone, and then Magar the Cruel came in and took over. He got his dragon, he got his military, got his men, and he just killed everybody. He wiped out the Faith Militant. He was burning people alive, and he ruled King's Landing from 42 AC to 48 AC. But even though he beat the Faith Militant and killed everybody, the people who were going to stop him, who was Aenys' children, named Jaehaerys Targaryen and his sister, Alicent Targaryen, who had dragons, they were gaining armies with the Lannisters, I think the Starks, and everybody up north, and they were just coming down on King's Landing. They were ready to go to war with Magar to overthrow him because they were tired of Magar the Cruel, and he was just torturing Westeros and being a cruel king. They're like, we gotta get rid of him. And once Magar knew that the war was lost because Balarion, his dragon, didn't stand a chance because Jaehaerys is Targaryen.
Getting off topic.
Okay, well, yeah. Anyways, he finally got killed. Well, he killed himself. And so that's an example of an evil king finally getting overthrown. But yeah, for the most part, George R. R. Martin writes grimdark fantasy where every good decision has a consequence. If you make a good decision or an honorable decision, you're going to pay for it. Like Ned Stark, he made the honorable decision of wanting to keep Joffrey from ruling because he was a child of incest, and he wanted Stannis Baratheon to be next in line, and so the Lannisters killed him. He made the honorable decision, they chopped his head off.
So there you go. Sounds accurate.